Welcome back to Amerisogyny. I'm your host, Hannah Blue. You're listening to episode 84. Nothing stops. Nothing stops. That's the message I want to hammer home today. My daughter's birthday was yesterday. We had a good time. We went out to eat. We ordered in for dinner. She opened her presents. We had some cake. It was good. She got a lot of nice things. And I'm so grateful to God for blessing her with another year. Now, yesterday I brought an episode where I told you all of my accounts have been frozen through Meta, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads for reporting the account of a pedophile. Yesterday, I was a bit heated. And you know, when you get like that, you say things in the moment. And I said I wanted my accounts reinstated. Now that I've had some time to reflect, I don't. It doesn't matter what they decide. I'm not going back. And if you're listening, it doesn't matter where you are in the U.S., Germany, Ireland, doesn't matter. We have to be very careful about aligning ourselves with fascism, fascist views, fascist ideology, people who believe in free speech for their side, but not for others. We need to stop putting money in their pockets and think of ways we can build our generational wealth. Because if there's one thing that all of these months have taught me, there are people in this country who do not care if others live or die. When I think of how life will be 50 years from now, 100 years from now, I want to make sure that I was on the good side of history. And I'm encouraged by all the good people that I've met who think like me. It gives me hope for the future. I do not believe that everything that's going on in our country will last forever. I think it's a big test. And I think if we stand strong and stay resilient, we'll make it. But if we cave, we're going to lose ourselves. And losing yourself is about one of the worst things you could do. So make sure you're surrounding yourselves with good people, not those who are easily brainwashed, heartless, and cruel. So no, there's no going back for me. Number one, it put a very bad taste in my mouth. And number two, I had to remember who I was. I'm Gen X. I grew up without social media. I didn't need it then, and I don't need it now. Not to run my business and not to sell my books. I met with a good friend yesterday. Her name is Rain. I met her in church years ago. She's been a light to me, her and her beautiful daughter, Jaleesa. And she's the mother of Courtney, my good friend and one of my characters in the Platarius series. And we got to talking about social media, and she said, you know what? Back in the day, before we had social media, we had word of mouth. And she's right. During my time spent on social media, one of the lessons that I've learned is you can post all day long. But if no one is talking about your company or your products, you're not going to go anywhere. Do you know how many indie authors are sitting on Threads who haven't sold a thing? It's sad. Social media is not the golden ticket people think it is. Now, I've paid a lot of money in advertisement to Meta over the years. Did it pan out? Sometimes it did, and sometimes it didn't. Especially not as much as I would have liked it to. So obviously, I don't need them. Marketing is about two things: the person selling and the people buying. And that's the most important thing. It is the people who are essential, not social media, not AI, genuine human connection. I sat back and watched the things that happened on social media a lot more than I posted. And one of the things that I saw were a lot of indie authors getting their accounts shut down on Amazon. And they weren't wide authors. Now, what do I mean when I say wide? They didn't publish wide. they chose to go exclusively with Amazon. So when their accounts were shut down, they had nowhere to go. So I said, okay, what can I do that if I am not on any social media sites, what can I do to make sure I can continue with what I want to do? I already had a website for 21 Blue Lash, and I decided to do an author website, and it came out beautifully. It is www.dlhannah.com. And while Amazon is a very large bookseller, he didn't start out that way. Everybody starts somewhere. I think if you're an author, the best vessel you can have is having your own website. So, for my international readers, if you don't want to go through Amazon or Amazon is not available in your country, I took the liberty of hunting down some countries with local bookstores where you can get my books. So listen up for your country: Australia, Austria, Spain, Canada, and shout out to Canada, it's one of my biggest sellers, Mexico, Sweden, Denmark, Luxembourg, Italy, Netherlands, France, Oman, another of my biggest sellers, Germany, South Korea, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom, which is the third largest international buyer of my books. And what I mean by that is these are the countries that buy my books the most: Canada, Oman, and the United Kingdom. Germany comes in at number 4. And I thank you guys for rocking with me, and I hope you enjoy the stories. And speaking of the stories, I'm in the process of finishing my 4th series. It is called Maimon, and I'm working on book 2. Book 1 is Maimon Paradox. Book 2, which I just started chapter 5, is Maimon Revelations. I don't know when I'll be releasing that, but stay tuned, especially if you go on my website, www.dlhannah.com, and sign up for my VIP list. I'll be getting the release date out to you before Christmas. And that's how we're rolling. But yeah, as I said, I'm not going back. I got really tired of seeing people despair. I literally saw people crashing out and crying over social media. And we know why. The current administration. Did I meet some good people? Of course. There's always beautiful people in the darkest of places. But right before this happened, I had said a prayer and I asked God, if there is anything or anyone against me, please remove it. And look what happened. So sometimes you have to be aware of what you pray for, and when you get your answer, roll with it. I've been a businesswoman for a long time. Nothing stops my money. And my friend Rain is right. Word of mouth is the number one vessel to success. I have the gift of gab. And if I want to sit down and reach the 62 countries that follow us, all I need to do is sit here and record. Before yesterday, I hadn't recorded an episode since June. And I was very surprised that countries continue to tune into us. And while I'm on that, let me send a shout out to the 62nd country to tune into us. Hello and welcome to our friends in Singapore. Thank you for climbing aboard and stick around for a while. I'm not going anywhere. When I was thinking of the direction that I want this podcast to go, what I don't want is to sit down and bring you news of what the current administration is doing every week. That is not beneficial to your mental health. It's not going to be beneficial to my mental health. But I'm going to find a way to keep you informed of what's going on in the U.S. because a lot of media have caved to this administration and they are not doing good journalism. Some are, most aren't. And you need to know the truth about what's going on. But I'll find a way to do it tastefully and with tact so I won't bring you down. When I think of mental health, politics ain't it. But we'll continue to advocate for women and children. We're going to talk about some great food. We're going to talk about my books. We're going to talk about a lot of good things. And first and foremost, there will be no lies or misinformation told here because I don't need clicks or views. I never have. I'll be dropping episodes in between finishing up Mayman Book 2. I just wanted to hop on here and thank you so much for rocking with me. It makes me so happy when I open up my stats and I see the countries that are tuning in. This week, it's been Germany, Singapore, Ireland, Colombia, and of course, the U.S., because we have a lot of blue dots across the country. And I'll tell you what, we can do some pretty good podcasting too, liberals. And with that, I'm out of time. The weekend is here, you guys. So I want you to be good to yourselves. I will be back with another episode jam-packed with good stories. Until then, be easy, take care of yourselves, have a good weekend, and as always, God